Hello learners, I Dr. Ranjita Marak extend my heartfelt greetings to you all and welcome you all to week 12 Essentials of English Teaching. Learners, imagine a classroom, not just a four walls and timetable. It's a space of ecosystem, rather a living ecosystem, a space where curiosity nurtures, where curiosity breathes, ideas collides, and young minds are awakened. But what shaped this ecosystem? Is it merely technology, textbook, curriculum? No. At the heart of powerful teaching learning process stands a teacher, not just a speaker of facts, but designer of your experiences. Every gesture they make, every question they ask, every pause they hold, and every smile they offer. All these are invisible threads, you can say, that connects learner to knowledge. And these invisible threads are what we call as teaching skills. So learners, today in our session, we will be focusing on skill of instructional objectives and skill of introduction. So coming to the learning outcomes, after completing this lesson, learners, you will be able to define the meaning of teaching skill, explain the meaning and steps of micro teaching, define instructional objective in clear, measurable terms, identify the essential components of instructional objectives, formulate instructional objectives according to the lesson, define the meaning and purpose of skill of introduction, identify the key components involved in introducing a lesson, apply the skill of introduction in a micro teaching session with clarity and confidence, define the concept and purpose of introduction. So coming to teaching skill refers to the professional abilities, we can say techniques and behavior a teacher uses to make classroom learning effective, interactive and meaningful. So according to Shulman's concept of pedagogical content knowledge, so teaching skill emerges from the integration of what teacher know, that is our content, how they teach, that is our pedagogy, and how students learn, that is our learning theory. So where do we practice this teaching skill? So here is the answer: micro teaching. Micro teaching is a teacher training technique used to practice teaching skill in a controlled environment. So when I am emphasizing on controlled environment, so Dwight Allen rightly emphasized that it is a scaled down teaching encountered in class size and time. So your class size, time and your class size get reduced in our micro teaching. So when we talk about steps in micro teaching, we have plan, teach, feedback, replan, reteach, refeedback. So the approximate time which we take for teach is 6 minutes. Then for feedback we have 6 minutes. For replan we have 12 minutes. For reteach we have 6 minutes, and the refeedback we have 6 minutes. So total, if we calculate the total is of 36 minutes. So micro teaching, this is the micro teaching cycle which we usually, you can say, practice our teaching learning process to train our pupil teacher. So coming to our instructional objective. So what is instructional objective? So it is said that an objective is stated to be an intention or purpose communicated by a statement describing the change of behavior of learner. So instructional objective can be the predetermined objective which we plan, which we formulate before entering into the class, and after the completion of the task, after the completion of the lesson, we also need to keep in mind to achieve it in terms of behavior, right? We will achieve in behavioral terms. So this is our instructional objective. So we also have certain components of you can say instructional objective, like identifying observable behavior, stating learners activity explicitly, then describing the conditions. We have specifying minimum level of performance. We also need to specify the domain for you can relate it to you can say the level of cognition, then relevant to content. So these are domains which we need to see or look forth when we are you can say planning or formulating our instructional objective. So cognitive domain, you can see knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. And there are also you can say levels under affective domain, levels under psychomotor domain. You can see on the screen. So you can see these are micro lesson plan which usually student frame while practicing this teaching skill in classroom situation, in simulated classroom situation, where you see we have to write the class, subject, topic and the component of the skill which we have discussed in the earlier slides. Then we also have to mention the date, time, number of students. So first we will frame general objective which entails that enable the students to, right? It is a general objective like enable the students to create love for English literature, you can say develop the 4 language skills. So these are what general objective which is you can common for all the students. But when we talk about specific objectives, so specific objectives are related to the content which you will disseminate in the classroom. So prior entering to the classroom, you frame your instructional objective, specific instructional objective, and it you need to make sure that after the completion of the class, each and every student you can say have understood certain or the other thing or what the instructional objective you will be framing. So to frame we have the statement form plus action verb, and then you also need to mention the domain or the level. Like for example, the student will able to recall the name of the poet. So recall is what your action verb over here, and recall comes under which you can say domain is your you can say cognition, level is your knowledge level. If you want to you can say frame objective regarding conceptualization or understanding of the thing, then we'll able to describe the central idea of the poem, right? So in this way the domain will be your cognitive and the level be your understanding level. So then at the end you have the signature of the supervisor and the signature of the peer observer, and this is the feedback performer which you can say the peer mates when they will be observing the you can say demonstration, he or she will be you can see giving his or her comment accordingly. So all the keywords, key components we have mentioned at the top, and you see under that you can say that it was appropriate, it was good, it was well accordingly. Then we have skill of introduction. So the skill of introduction is a core teaching skill with which we begin our lesson meaningfully or to capture the attention of the learners, prepare them mentally for new learning, right? So it acts as a bridge you can say between the previous knowledge and the new content that are about to study, right? That we will be studying in the coming forth sessions. So a set introduction is also called anticipatory set, right, which we also call as set induction. So it is a step taken by a teacher to begin a lesson or other classroom activity, then to introduce the topic or get student focused and interested in the day's lesson. And when the learners are set, they are ready to learn, and it is also about getting ready to introduce the lesson, and it's also concerned with the way of introducing the teaching learning process. So skill of introduction, we have what we need to do. We establish a rapport with the learners. We promote their attention, capture their attention, or try to engage in the learning process, or try to connect the previous knowledge with the content that they will be studying further, and exposing the learners with the new content. Then coming to objective of set induction. So there are 4 main objective of set induction, which says that to arrest or gain the attention of the learner and prepare them into a state of readiness, to motivate the learner and get them interested in the lesson, and also to get the student focused or think what is to be learned, and to suggest an approach of the lesson. So we also have components of set induction like preliminary attention gaining, use of previous knowledge, use of appropriate device, and explicit link with the content. When we introduce a lesson, what we do, we arouse curiosity, we revive previous knowledge, and we also use various teaching aids to make our, set induction very interesting, and we also make it very effective. We try to link it with the unit. We try to be very creative, you can say, and also we need to have a time management where time is very precious one. And to proper management of time makes the further, steps in the process more feasible and easy to disseminate. Then there are appropriate devices which we can use in our set induction like photograph, maps, models, chart paper. Sometimes you can use many of the apparatus of the experiment, various diagrams. So you can use multiple appropriate devices in your lesson while introducing a lesson to make it interesting or sometimes very innovative, right? Rather than making it very monotonous. Then there are certain do's and don'ts while introducing a lesson, like do not start teaching directly. Complete the formalities which we need to follow while executing any plan. Do not tell the title of the unit and be pleasant while introducing a lesson, right? Then you can see this micro plan of skill of induction, where you can have a class, subject, topic, then you can write the components which we have discussed, then we write the date, time, number of students. Then there you can see the teacher activity, and on the right hand side you have the students activity. If you want to introduce a lesson, how you will introduce a lesson, so we can have a demonstration a bit, for example, right? So in teacher activity, what you can do, suppose you can ask if you are willing to teach grammar, right? So here what you can do, you can ask question to the students, like initial question would be like, what is noun? In students activity, it could be that noun is the naming words, name of a person, place or thing, right? Then you can ask as a teacher that gives some example. Then the student will give example like you can say Ram, Sita, right, Akash, Anjali, anything. Then for you can say Taj Mahal, Kolkata, Delhi, right? For a thing, it can be like a pen, right? It can be a remote, right? It can be a book, it can be a notebook, anything. So now what you can ask your students that, yes, so now tell me student, what is the color of this remote, right? What is the color of this remote? The student will give their probable answer, yes, it is black in color. So now you can ask the students that how many pens are there, right? You can see there are 2 pens, right? So they will they will answer that 2 pen. Now you can ask that how is the picture looking on this notebook, right? They will say that yes, it's beautiful, it's creative. Some may say that it's so and so. So here you can ask the ultimate question that students, so what do these words do to noun? They will give that they're describing the noun, right? So here next you can start your lesson by telling that, so statement of the aim. So today's students, we will study about the describing words which we call adjective in grammar. So this is one example of demonstration which I have tried to give you out, so you can have a understanding that how we can introduce a lesson without you can say prior just coming up and telling that today we will do adjective. Rather, we can have interaction and try to connect with the previous knowledge, and you can interestingly and interactively we can start a lesson so that they can you can say get engaged in the process, be active participant in the process. So now you can see these are the feedback performer, which you can say the pupil, teacher, those who are peer observer can observe and rate accordingly. So you see, we have thoroughly discussed about the teaching skill, what is micro teaching, right? And we have highlighted the skill of introduction, skill of, you can say, instructional objective, you can say two most very important teaching skills which we widely practice in our, you can say, lesson plans, and without which you can say our lesson plan will not, you can say, completed. And yes, we all know that teaching skills are the building blocks of effective teaching learning process. So the more you master on this teaching skill, the more enhanced or effective teacher you become. So these are certain suggested readings. You can go through it to enhance your understanding regarding the skills. So thank you all. See you in the next lecture.